You wake up and your mouth feels like you swallowed sand. Your tongue is stuck to the roof of your mouth. You reach for water, again, half asleep, fumbling in the dark. And you tell yourself it's nothing. But a body doesn't just stop producing saliva for no reason. And what that silence in your mouth is actually trying to say, most people never find out until the damage is already done. There's a sensation most people dismiss without a second thought. That dry, sticky, almost gritty feeling inside your mouth when you open your eyes in the morning. You swallow. You reach for the glass on the nightstand. You drink. You move on with your day. But here's what almost nobody tells you. Your mouth is one of the most honest parts of your entire body. It doesn't exaggerate. It doesn't fabricate symptoms for attention. And when it dries out, not once, not after a night of wine, but consistently, night after night after night. It's not being dramatic. It's delivering a message, one that most people never bother to decode. I've spent years, real years, not textbook years, listening to people describe this exact thing. And what still catches me off guard, even now, is how many of them had already mentioned it to a doctor. Some had mentioned it to 2 or 3, and the response they got? Almost always the same. Drink more water. Or, it's probably the way you sleep. Or my personal favorite, it happens with age. Let me be very direct with you right now. Those answers are not just incomplete. Sometimes, and I don't say this lightly, they're dangerously incomplete. Because behind that dry mouth, there can be a cascade of things going wrong inside your body that no glass of water is going to fix. And the longer you wait, the deeper the roots grow. Let me tell you about someone. Her name was Colleen. She was 53 years old, a ceramic artist who lived just outside Portland, married for 27 years, mother of 2 grown sons. She came to see me not because of the dry mouth. That's important. She came because she was exhausted. Not the kind of tired you fix with a good weekend. The kind that sits in your bones. The kind where you wake up after 8 hours of sleep and feel like you haven't slept at all. But when I started asking the questions nobody had asked her before, about her nights, her mornings, the things she noticed but had learned to dismiss, the dry mouth came up almost as a footnote, an afterthought. "Oh, that," she said, waving her hand. "Yeah, that's been going on for years. I just keep a water bottle by the bed." Years. And not a single professional, not one, had ever connected it to what was actually unraveling inside her body. Because here's the thing that changes everything once you understand it. Dry mouth at night doesn't just mean you slept with your mouth open. It can mean something far more layered, far more systemic. Something that touches your hormones, your nervous system, your metabolism, the quality of your blood, even the integrity of your gut lining. Stay with me, because what comes next is going to reshape the way you think about your own body. Your saliva is not just moisture. Let that land for a moment. We treat it like it's nothing, just wetness, just spit. But saliva is a biological masterpiece. It contains enzymes that begin digesting your food before it even reaches your stomach. It carries immunoglobulin A, an antibody that acts as the first line of defense against pathogens trying to enter through your mouth and throat. It maintains a precise pH balance that keeps harmful bacteria from colonizing your gums and teeth while you sleep. It even contains compounds that help repair the soft tissue inside your mouth. When production drops, and I mean really drops, not the occasional dry morning after a salty dinner, your body is essentially pulling resources from a system it considers non-essential. And that decision, that prioritization, it doesn't happen randomly. It happens because something upstream is commanding it. And here's the part that gets missed almost every single time. The most common cause is not dehydration. It's not your pillow. It's not the ceiling fan. It's not even mouth breathing, though we'll get to that. It's your nervous system stuck in a state it was never designed to stay in. Let me explain what I mean. Your autonomic nervous system has 2 major branches. The sympathetic, your accelerator pedal, your fight or flight response, and the parasympathetic, which handles rest, digestion, repair, and yes, saliva production. These two are supposed to dance together. One activates when you need to respond to danger. The other activates when you're safe, when it's time to heal and restore. But here's what happens to millions of people, especially those navigating chronic stress, hormonal transitions, sleep debt, metabolic overload. The sympathetic branch gets stuck, permanently on. Not at full blast, maybe, but at a low hum. A constant, quiet activation that never fully turns off, even during sleep. And when that happens, your body starts making hard choices. Digestion slows, because who needs to digest food when you're supposedly running from a predator? Saliva glands receive less blood flow. Secretion decreases. Your mouth dries out. Not because you're sick, not because you're broken, but because your body is so busy protecting you from a threat that doesn't exist that it forgets to maintain the basics. The cruelest part? You might not even feel stressed. Chronic sympathetic activation doesn't always show up as anxiety or panic. Sometimes it shows up as fatigue you can't explain, brain fog that comes and goes like weather, weight that clings to your midsection no matter what you eat, joints that ache in the morning for no clear reason, sleep that's thin, fragile, fractured into pieces you can't remember. And the dry mouth? That's your body whispering what your conscious mind refuses to acknowledge. It's the signal, the quiet one, the one everyone ignores. Now, I want to pause here for a moment, because if what I'm describing sounds uncomfortably familiar, if you're sitting there right now or lying in bed thinking, wait, that's exactly what happens to me, then I need you to do something. Not later, right now. Hit that subscribe button, because this channel exists for moments like this, for the things nobody else explains in a way that actually makes sense. And then leave me a comment. Tell me where you're watching from, your city, your country. I read every single one, not because of some algorithm trick, because the stories you share in the comments have literally shaped videos I've made. Some of the most important topics I've covered came from a single comment someone left at 2 in the morning. So tell me, where are you? And does this sound like you? Good. Let's keep going. Because the rabbit hole doesn't end at the nervous system. There's another piece of this puzzle that almost never comes up in a standard checkup, and it has to do with your blood sugar. No, I'm not talking about diabetes. Not yet. I'm talking about the space between normal and diagnosis. The gray zone. The metabolic twilight. That place where your fasting glucose comes back at 92, 95, 98. Technically normal. And your doctor says you're fine. But your body is already compensating, already straining, already working overtime to keep those numbers within range. When insulin starts to rise, even just slightly above optimal, one of the earliest things to suffer is your microcirculation, the smallest blood vessels in your body. The capillaries that feed your salivary glands, your gum tissue, the delicate mucous membranes inside your mouth. They begin to narrow. Blood flow decreases, and saliva, that complex, precious fluid, becomes scarce. Colleen? Her fasting glucose was 94. Perfect range, her previous provider had told her. But her fasting insulin, a test that almost nobody orders, a test that costs almost nothing and reveals almost everything, was 14 microunits per milliliter. Not catastrophic, but not good. Not remotely good. That number told me her pancreas was already working double shifts to keep her blood sugar looking pretty on paper. Her body was screaming. The lab report looked calm, and the dry mouth? It was the very first crack in the wall. Here's something else I need you to hear. Something that stops me in my tracks every time I see it, because of how common it is and how invisible it remains. Medications. Not the obscure, hard-to-pronounce kind. The everyday kind. The ones sitting in your medicine cabinet right now. Antihistamines, antidepressants, blood pressure medications, proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux, muscle relaxants, decongestants, even certain supplements that people take with the best of intentions, believing they're helping. Each one of these, individually, can reduce saliva production as a side effect. But here's where it gets really insidious. When you combine 2 or 3, which tens of millions of people do every single day, the effect doesn't just add up. It compounds, multiplies. Your mouth becomes a desert. Your enamel begins to erode because there's no saliva to buffer the acid. Your gums become inflamed. Bacteria populations shift toward the aggressive, harmful varieties. And the cruelest irony of all? Some of those medications were prescribed to manage symptoms: fatigue, mood instability, blood pressure spikes, reflux, that were themselves downstream effects of the same root imbalance driving the dry mouth. The same nervous system dysregulation, the same metabolic drift, the same inflammation. It's a loop, a vicious, invisible, self-reinforcing loop. And almost nobody, not the prescribing physician, not the pharmacist, not the patient, is looking at the full architecture of what's happening. And then there's the piece almost nobody wants to discuss openly: hormones. Particularly in women navigating perimenopause or postmenopause, the decline in estrogen directly affects the mucous membranes throughout the entire body. The mouth is no exception. Salivary glands have estrogen receptors. When those hormone levels drop, sometimes gradually, sometimes like a cliff, the glands begin to atrophy. Slowly, silently. You don't see it happening. You just wake up one morning and realize your mouth has been dry for months, and you can't pinpoint when it started. It crept in like fog. And because it happened slowly, you adapted. You normalized it. You stopped questioning it. But your body never stopped signaling. Now, there's one more layer. And this one is deeply personal for many people, so I want to tread carefully. Breathing. Not how you breathe during the day, when you're conscious of it, when you can correct it. How you breathe at night, when you're asleep. When your conscious mind steps away and your body runs the show on its own. Mouth breathing during sleep is one of the most underdiagnosed, under-discussed contributors to chronic dry mouth. And here's what makes it tricky. Mouth breathing during sleep is itself a symptom of nasal congestion, sometimes, but also of airway instability. Soft tissue changes, often hormonal, that allow the tissues in the back of the throat to become lax, to collapse partially during deep relaxation. Inflammation in the nasal passages that nobody investigates because the person doesn't have allergies. Sometimes, and this is the one that keeps me up at night, it's early-stage obstructive sleep apnea. The kind that doesn't present with dramatic snoring. The kind where the person simply stops breathing for 5, 10, 15 seconds at a time. Just long enough to jolt the nervous system awake. Just long enough to trigger the mouth to fall open. Just long enough to dry everything out and fragment the sleep architecture into a pattern that looks like rest on the outside, but feels like exhaustion on the inside. Colleen didn't snore. Her husband confirmed it. No loud breathing, no gasping, nothing dramatic. But when we ran a simple home sleep study, nothing invasive, no lab, just a small device she wore on her wrist and finger for one night, we discovered she was having 11 respiratory events per hour. 11. Each one pulling her out of restorative sleep. Each one triggering that sympathetic surge. Each one opening her mouth just slightly. She'd been waking up exhausted, bone-tired, soul-tired, for 6 years. 6 years of, you're just stressed, and try melatonin, and maybe you need a vacation. And the dry mouth was the thread that, once I pulled it, unraveled the entire tangled knot. That's what I mean when I say your body doesn't lie. It can't. It doesn't know how. Now, let me share something with you, and I want you to really hear this. The solution to chronic dry mouth is not a special mouthwash. It's not a humidifier plugged in next to your bed, though that might offer temporary comfort. It's not even just drinking more water, though hydration obviously matters. The real solution lives upstream, always upstream. It lives in understanding why your body made the decision to reduce saliva production. Was it nervous system overload? Metabolic dysfunction lurking behind normal-looking lab work? Medication accumulation? Airway compromise during sleep? Hormonal shifts that change the landscape of your tissues. Because here's what happens when you find the root. The actual root, not the surface, and you address it with precision and patience. The dry mouth doesn't just improve, everything improves. Sleep becomes deeper, more continuous, more restorative. Energy returns, not the jittery, caffeinated kind, but the kind that comes from a body that's finally repairing itself at night. Brain fog dissolves, that heaviness you've been carrying around, the one that feels like a wet wool coat you can never take off. It begins to lift. Joints move easier, weight starts to shift, mood stabilizes in ways you forgot were possible. Because all those symptoms, the fatigue, the dry mouth, the foggy thinking, the stubborn belly fat, the aching joints, the fragile sleep, they were never separate problems. They were never a grocery list of random breakdowns. They were one story, your body's story, told through symptoms because nobody stopped long enough to listen, because nobody looked at the architecture, because everyone treated each symptom like an island, when in reality they were all connected. A single continent submerged, only the mountaintops visible above the waterline. Colleen, she's doing well now. I want you to know that. We addressed the insulin resistance through targeted nutrition. Not a crash diet, not restriction, but strategic changes that lowered her insulin demand without making her miserable. We worked on her breathing with a simple myofunctional protocol, exercises that strengthen the tone of her airway tissues. We reviewed her medications with her prescribing physician and carefully, gradually, eliminated the ones that were no longer serving her. And most importantly, we gave her nervous system permission to stand down, to come out of that fight-or-flight posture it had been frozen in for over a decade. Her mouth, moist when she wakes up, for the first time in years. Her sleep, deep, unbroken. She told me, and this is the part that stayed with me, that I think about on difficult days. She said, I forgot what it felt like to actually rest, like really rest. I thought that was just gone. It wasn't gone, it was buried, underneath layers of noise that nobody helped her sort through. And if you're still here, if you stayed through all of this, if something in this video reached a place inside you that's been tender and unspoken, then I want to talk to you directly now. Just you. Not the algorithm, not the audience. You. Your body has been talking to you, maybe for months, maybe for years, and nobody listened. Maybe not even you, because you were told it was nothing. You were told to drink more water. You were told it was stress, or age, or just how some people are. It's not nothing, and you deserve better than a dismissal dressed up like a diagnosis. So here's what I'm going to ask of you. If this landed, if something clicked, share this video with one person. Just one. Someone who wakes up every morning with that glass of water on the nightstand. Someone who's been brushing off the message their body is sending. Sometimes the thing that changes a person's life isn't a medication or a procedure or a $1,000 test. Sometimes it's a video that arrives at exactly the right moment. You could be that moment for somebody you love. And while you're at it, talk to me. In the comments. Tell me, do you deal with this? How long has it been going on? What have you been told? I want to hear it. Every story, every single one matters to me. And listen, this is only the beginning. There is so much more your body is trying to tell you. Things hidden in your sleep patterns, in your cravings at night, in the temperature of your hands and feet, in the way your hair thins at the temples, in the ridges on your fingernails. Each one a letter, each one part of a language you were never taught to read. But you're learning now. That's what this is. That's why you're here. Stay curious. Subscribe if you haven't yet, because what's coming next might be the missing piece you didn't know you were looking for. And remember this, above everything else. The body whispers before it screams. It always does. The fact that you're here, right now, listening to the whisper instead of waiting for the scream, that already makes you different from most people. I'll see you in the next one.